What's up, guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel, Voicing the Voiceless, where my main goal is to help people become their truest selves by shining a light on the importance of mental health and self-care. My name is Raquel. Everybody calls me Rocky. I am 20 years old. I am from Ohio, and I have dealt with mental health issues since I was about 13 years old. I was clinically diagnosed with anxiety, depression, and a mood disorder. The last therapist I went to told me I had PTS from my childhood, and honestly, I really do believe him because I can recognize that as an adult, the things that have happened in my past really do have an effect on my present, and if I don't deal with them, they will continue to affect my future. So I am on a journey to, I guess, become the best version of myself. I have been put on medicine. I have been in psych wards before. I have a history of self-harm. I've been to plenty of therapists, and it really has been a struggle. I can say that, growing up in the Black community, mental health is not something that we really talk about. Well, it's not something we had talked about, because obviously there are people now that are really stressing how important it is that, we seek help. We go to therapy if you need to get on medicine. Like, that's what you got to do. But when my mental health issues started to arise, the initial reaction I got was, that's not a Black person thing. Only white people have these issues, and what happens in my house stays in my house. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person, the only Black person or whatever race, that your parents have told you what happens in their house stays in their house. Because, again, when all of these mental things started to come about, whatever was happening at home leaked into school. When I was in the 8th grade, there was a counselor that found out that I was self-harming. I told her what was going on at home. It really was no help. So it pretty much took a toll on my grades and me dealing with the other kids there. And it really has been a struggle. Back when my guardian had found out that I was harming myself, like I said, the initial reaction was, we don't do this. You're hanging around too many white people. I don't know what the hell is wrong with you. Like, why would you even do this to yourself? And now I can identify that, it was just a coping skill. It was really the only way that I felt in control of everything or anything at all, because I just felt like everything was going haywire. Like, what was going on at home was too much. I hated school. I was getting bullied. I felt like I had no help at all. So the only way that I could control that was, to hurt myself. And after that initial reaction, I can say that my guardian did try to give me help. She started to take me to therapy, and the therapist put me on medicine. But what was going on at home continued to go on at home. So it really just was no help. And honestly, the first therapist that I can actually remember going to, my guardian would sit in the sessions with me, and it felt like they were just gossiping about me. Like, it didn't really help. I was pretty much just listening to them talk about me, and then everything was completely the same when I left. And it was even like that when I was in psych wards. Like, being in there was like a little break from reality. But then when I left and I went back home, everything was still the same. And I didn't know how to deal with anything. Like, I kept lashing out at home. I lashed out at school, which ultimately ended up getting me kicked out of the school that I was in, going to a school that I really didn't want to go to. It ruined the relationship with the friends that I had. I ended up running away from home a lot. And I guess it was hard. Um, but I am trying to get it to not be so hard. Again, like, I'm a true believer in these issues don't just disappear. You just learn how to deal with them. And I have learned how to deal with them pretty well, I would say. But as an adult, looking back on my childhood and the things that I went through and how I dealt with them, like, it really has had an effect on who I am now. And who I am now is not essentially who I want to be. I had goals for my life, but, being depressed and anxious, like, it was pretty much like I was at war with myself all the time. Like, I wanted to be the best version of myself, but I also had no motivation to do anything. And I'm trying not to cry because I'm a very emotional person. But I guess, all I can say is that it's been hard. I really don't have relationships with people. I have really bad attachment issues. Most of the time I feel like everybody that came into my life left, so I just kicked everybody out. I still seclude myself. Like, if you ask anybody that actually knows me, I go to work, I go to church, and I come home. That's pretty much it. I don't have fun. I don't really know what it is that I like to do, honestly. Because, like, everything that I did like as a child, and I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there that can relate, like, I was called an Oreo because I liked the things that white kids liked. I didn't really listen to rap music. I didn't like to rip and run the streets. Like, I preferred to read. I was a very artistic child. Like, I was super good in school, and I got bullied for it. And this is where I feel like the PTSD kicks in because, like, I just slacked off in anything. Honestly, like, I am surprised that I actually did graduate. Like, I wasn't a bad student or anything. Like, I still applied myself. But I stopped caring about everything. And ultimately, like, I ended up dropping out of college because my anxiety was super bad. I really couldn't sit in a classroom because I felt like I couldn't breathe. Like, I couldn't focus. My grades were dropping. I really did started to seclude myself. Like, when I was still living with my parents, they were pretty much the only people I talked to. Any friends that I had, like, sorry y'all, really got pushed to the side. I started to hate everything. I just stopped existing. Well, no, I stopped living, and I just existed. I just went, day to day, going to work, coming home, going to work, coming home, sleeping all the time, overeating. I indulged myself into social media way too much. I lived my life through everybody else. Like, old friends couldn't even get me out the house because honestly, I just hated being around people. I was so afraid that somebody's going to look at me on the street and laugh at me and judge me. And it was bad. It was really bad. And I'm really just trying to, I guess, dig up all the skeletons in my closet and, look them in their hollow little eyes and be like, you don't affect me anymore. Like, it happened. I can't change what happened, but I can come to terms with it and I cannot let it control me. So that's pretty much why I've done this, started this YouTube channel, and why I've been on this mental health journey is I'm trying to figure out who I am again and exactly what my place in the world is. And I'm choosing to do that publicly because I know that one of my gifts is, my words hold weight. I know that I'm supposed to impact people with my words, my voice. There's so many things that I have been through. And at least, like, for me, it's easier for me to receive things from people that look like me, I guess, or that have been through what I've been through. Like, you didn't even have to look at me, but if I know we can relate, it's easier for me to listen to you. And growing up, like, there was never really any Black people out there that I could really talk to that knew what I was going through because we never really talked about it. But now, like, with social media being so present, there are people out there that look like me that are going through what I go through, and it reminds me that I'm not alone. There's somebody out there who can relate, and that makes me feel like I actually have a chance. And so I want to give people that same feeling, that they listen to me and they feel like, damn, she's going through it, but she's overcoming it. She's tackling her demons, and you know, she's gonna make it. And I want people to know that regardless of what you're going through, what you've been through, you got this in the bag. Like, but it takes some digging. Like, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of discipline, consistency to just, you know, like, you got to grab yourself by your pants, you know, pull them up a little bit, jiggle into them, however you do it, and be like, you know what, this happened. It happened. There's nothing I can do about it, but I can control how I let it affect my life. And not even just with, like, mental health things, like how you deal with people, the things people have said to you, the situations you have been in, like, everything impacts us. From, like, small little conversations. Like, I've never realized how detrimental words can be to you. Like, words really do matter. How you talk to people, what you say, how you deal with them, the energy that you give off. Like, that matters. Everything matters. Like, I feel like us as a people, we have to stop pushing things aside. We have to stop being like, oh, you know, that's fine. Like, it's not gonna affect me. When, like, in reality, it does. The only thing that you're doing is, like, you know, digging yourself into a hole. And, like, we gotta stop doing that. At least I have to stop doing that. Like, there's so many different things in life that I really do want to accomplish, but I've really been hindering myself because there's so many things from my past that I never really realized affected my future. Like me specifically with dealing with people, or like men in general. Like, I don't even know how to have a relationship. And me, I'm gonna just say this now. I'm a completely see-through person. Like, I have no trouble being public about my vulnerability, about the things that I have been through. Like, I'll let you know, I'll own it. So specifically with men, like, don't know how to have a relationship. I've never had one. I've let men walk all over me, and I guess you could attribute that to, like, daddy issues. But I have a really great relationship with my dad now. But again, looking back at my past when I didn't have him, I was really searching for a love that I never really had from a male, and it led me to, you know, letting them do whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much the point I want to get across, is that you're not alone. Whatever it is that you think you're going through, somebody else is going through it too. And you don't have to hide it, and you don't have to suppress it. Own it. I own the things I have done. I have not been a perfect child. Not even been a perfect adult. Nobody is perfect. I'm pretty sure I still be out here hurting people's feelings. I'm hypocritical in a way, but I own it. And the only way you can change things is by owning them. Is, you know, you gotta look them in the eye and be like, hey, you have been a part of me, but you're no longer going to be a part of me. So I'm going to stop now before I continue to ramble on about my life. But even with this first video, I hope I've impacted somebody. You know, I hope I've opened somebody's heart to receive this message. And if you feel like I could help you in this journey, or, you know, if you want to be on this journey with me, please like the video, subscribe, you know, leave a comment or whatever. Even if, you know, you don't want everybody else to know, I'm always here. I'm going to link my Instagram information. I specifically have an Instagram page called Voicing the Voiceless to, you know, highlight this journey that I've been on. There's email attached to it. Feel free to email me or just DM me on Instagram. You know, I'm always willing to listen, and you know, I have an open heart, and I know that I have a message for somebody. So I'm gonna end here before I continue to talking. Thank you for watching this video. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'm doing my best. So, bye.
I wanna call on my wrist. I had to fuck up a jack. I sent that bitch to the left.